You are totally the biggest mark.
And I have half the brain that you do.
Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
And all these people are a bunch of stinking bums, aren't you?
Reigning United States heavyweight champion Bret Hitman Clark.
Hello, welcome everybody to episode 3 of the Late to the Nitro Party podcast, a podcast where we run down every single Monday Nitro from the first to the last, if we get that far. We'll see. We're only at episode 3. So tonight we'll be talking about the September 18th, 1995 Nitro from the Freedom Hall Civic Center in wonderful Johnson City, Tennessee, with an attendance of 3,200 people. And this will be the Nitro immediately following the Fall Brawl 95. And we'll have Clay here to run down the card.
So, this is just after Fall Brawl 95, which took place at the Asheville Civic Center in Asheville, North Carolina. The card on that show, I'll just run it down real quick. There was a dark match of Big Bubba Rogers defeating Mark Thorne. Nobody cares. We had Johnny B. Bad defeating Brian Pillman. Sergeant Craig Pittman defeating Cobra. Diamond Dallas Page defeating the Renegade for the WCW television title. Harlem Heat defeating Bunkhouse Buck and Dirty Dick Slater for the tag titles. Double A Arn Anderson defeating Ric Flair. And in the War Games match, we have Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Lex Luger, and Sting defeating the Dungeon of Doom, which included Kamala, Zodiac, Shark, and Ming. And one thing to point out at the Fall Brawl pay-per-view marks the debut of the Giant, who would later go on to, of course, become the Big Show. So let's jump right into it. Remember, if you're watching this on the network, when we tell you to press play, and your copy will sync up with us. So
Don't forget, there's a couple of ads before the show starts, so just keep that in mind.
You may have to time that out, play with it.
When the actual show starts, that's when you cue it up.
You're all smart enough to figure that out. All right, so get ready to press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Welcome, everybody. See, we saw Vader in the intro. And
So, Johnson City, Tennessee. I know there's a Darius Rucker song. I think that's mentioned in Wagon Wheel.
Sure.
I'm probably going to get hate mail for referring to that as a Darius Rucker song, but you all know what I'm talking about.
We actually
Old Crow Medicine Show, whatever.
We looked it up on Google Maps, and it's literally in the middle of nowhere. It's probably a couple hours east of Knoxville, in Appalachia country.
That's a lot of pyro around Dave Pinzer.
Oh my God.
That polyester
yourself,
suit he's
Pinzer.
wearing will probably go up like
Yeah. They had a good way of... Go ahead.
They have a good way of crushing your soul right out of the gate with their commentary. Is that what you're going to say?
I was actually going to say they have a good way of lighting arenas at this point where they don't have a whole lot of attendance compared to 2 years from now.
Yeah.
But they make it look like there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, I mean, 3,200 people. I mean, I guess that's a lot to fit into one
95,
building.
that's
but
probably
yeah.
tons of people. When you're talking, I don't know, Starrcade 97 probably has, what, 20, 30,000 maybe?
I have. We'll get to that. One thing I did note, Fall Brawl 95, just as a reference, Fall Brawl 95 had 6,600 as an attendance. So, roughly double what's at this Nitro.
Right.
So we get an ambulance backing up to the Freedom Hall Civic Center.
Who can it be?
And
Oh
what do
my
you know?
God.
Kevin Sullivan.
It's the Taskmaster. And who is this?
Yeah, we got Paul White, the Giant, the Big Show.
Listen to this. Just listen to this.
He has a lot of spittle. Christ, his hands. Those are enormous.
His first professional wrestling promo ever.
It wasn't bad, really. I mean, he didn't like. I mean, you got to remember this is. I'm not sure if this vignette's live.
I'll say this is pre-recorded. That's probably his 10th take.
I would assume, but he did okay.
Andre's son.
So that they're still playing this gimmick of him being the son of Andre the Giant. It doesn't take him too long to drop that, however.
Yeah. That was Hogan's idea, by the way. The whole being Andre's son.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How much Just for Men do you think Bischoff's using at this time?
Oh, God. Yeah. I thought we were going to go back and see some recap of Fall Brawl.
I think that's later. I think later they said they're going to do that. So
here we go.
I'm going to let everybody listen to this. Listen. This is the American Males, Marcus Bagwell, Scotty Riggs. Listen to their entrance music. So, Bischoff was talking over it a little bit, but you can YouTube it. The theme for the American Males is widely considered one of the worst entrance musics in wrestling history. Look it up, listen to it. 20 seconds in, you'll want to eat a gun. So they're supposed to be taking on the Blue Bloods here, which is Bobby Eaton and Steven Regal.
Is that who we get?
We'll just have to wait and see.
What?
Bobby Eaton being beaten by Stevie Ray. This was back in the days where you could just beat somebody up backstage and take their spot on the card.
I don't think Booker was quite ready for that.
So they job him out real quick, beat his ass, and throw him in the back, and it looks like it's going to be Harlem Heat versus the American Males.
There's your final WCW champion there. Sensational Sherry was their manager, huh?
Yep, at this time.
She did. Man, that scar on Booker's shoulder.
That's been there a while.
Yeah.
So, is it just me or is this really stupid? You're the champ. You don't challenge people.
Right.
But they decided to just make a challenge when they didn't have to. The commissioner, Nick Bockwinkel, didn't sanction this, but because of wrestling, that's why.
Typical WCW booking.
So we start off all four men brawling in the ring. Don't listen to Mongo. Do not flush your remote control. That's horrible on your toilet. So Nick Patrick thankfully gains control of the proceedings. So starting off, we're going to have Stevie Ray in the ring with Scotty Riggs.
That's the guy in the white suspenders.
So what is the American Males gimmick? They're
strippers.
They're like Chippendales dancers.
Basically. Which in Buff Bagwell's case is actually more truth than not.
In a rare case of life imitating art.
Yeah.
Marcus Buff Bagwell is now a there's really no other way to say it. He's a gigolo.
Yeah. He's got a Showtime show, I think. Stevie Ray's one guy that never really quite got over.
Slapjack, sucker. Oh, nice side slam from Stevie Ray. Yeah. We'll see in this match that, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Booker T carries a large portion of this match for the team. Actually, for all 4 competitors, Booker T really carries this match.
Ooh.
Pretty awesome power slam from Booker T there, showing a lot of power. Both of these guys, Stevie Ray and Booker T, are quite a bit bigger than Riggs and Bagwell. I mean, they're pretty big dudes. Bagwell tags to Scotty Riggs. Oh!
What was that?
Scotty Riggs sold the axe kick in a way that almost broke his own
off
neck.
his head.
Which, was that Booker T's finisher at one time?
Yeah.
I think that was his finish.
What does he call it? I can't remember.
I think it was just called the axe kick. I don't know. He used like a top rope leg drop that he called the Harlem Hangover for a while, but I don't know if that had a name or not.
The Harlem sidekick or something like that.
I don't know. Really, Harlem Heat, you could make the argument they were one of the great tag teams of this era. They were big leg lariat from Booker T there.
They were really one of the only over tag teams of this era, because tag team wrestling was kind of going to the wayside at this point.
Which it has. I mean, you watch wrestling today, there's not that many big, iconic tag teams out there. Right. I mean, you could argue the New Day with what they're doing. I mean, they're probably the most recognizable tag team out there at this point. Good ring psychology there. Good tag team work.
Sister Sherry.
Notice the "We Want It Raw" poster on the hard camera.
Printed on a dot matrix printer, then laminated.
So that's the one with the little holes in the side of it.
Yeah, you had to tear it off at the end because it all prints in one continuous sheet.
Kids, if you were born in the late 90s, you have no earthly goddamn clue what we're talking about. Look it up.
56K modems, dot matrix printers.
So Scotty Riggs makes a hot tag to... I keep wanting to call him... He's not Buff Bagwell at this time. He's still Marcus Bagwell. And we have for some reason, a Southern plantation owner stereotype that is touching Sherry on the bum. And now he is running off with her. We got pump handle slam coming up from Booker T.
Okay, what just happened?
But Bagwell reverses it into a pin.
So they're the champs?
And looks like the American males are the new champs.
What an upset.
Highlight of Scotty Riggs' career right there.
There's a Vader sign there. The last great moment of Scotty Riggs' career.
I don't know why that's an angle that they're working, but apparently it is. I was about to mark out for a pump handle slam. That's something you don't see too often anymore.
Paul Orndorff.
Paul Orndorff versus Johnny B. Bad coming up. We get a
Slim
Slim
Jim
Jim commercial from Randy Savage.
Oh man, I've ate so many of those things. Paul Orndorff is not doing so hot. He just got over cancer. He beat that, but he can't like move either of his arms or anything.
Really? That's
Because of he's had countless concussions because he played football before wrestling as
really.
well.
Yeah, that is not good for you. Mm-hmm. So we got Mean Gene in the ring, and we got Nature Boy Ric Flair coming out for a promo.
In his robe. Does he have a match tonight? Do you know?
I believe he does. We'll get to that later.
All right.
He's in his wrestling gear anyway.
Yeah.
Normally, if he doesn't have a match, he just comes out in his pleated slacks and
This
elbow
Armani
drops the
suit.
mat several times.
Flying Brian.
There you go. Flair versus Brian Pillman tonight.
But Pillman joins the Horsemen shortly after this, right? Or was he a member of the Horsemen?
Well, Boomer Esiason reference.
Classic Nate. Ooh. Risque for 95 television.
Yeah, that is. I mean, you'll notice basically every time Flair's got a mic in front of him, we're just going to shut up and let him talk so you guys at home can hear it.
Yeah.
Because he's just pure solid gold.
Yeah.
Nice to see a Flair promo without Luger interjecting himself.
Back when Saturday Night still had some standing.
Yep.
Some Sting action. Some Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes, baby.
And Hulk on Saturday Night. This was the main show before Nitro started, was Saturday
Right.
Night.
Yep. WCW Saturday Night on TBS. I remember watching WCW Saturday Night on TBS, got over about 8:30, and clicking over to Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs on TNT.
Classic
and
television.
Your night was set. So we got Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff here, who has been saddled with this gimmick. He's kind of playing sort of like the narcissist gimmick with Luger back in the Fed.
Right.
He's got this mirror thing. I mean,
Is his own trading card? Or?
yeah, something. He just can't quit looking at himself, and that'll play into the story in this match here coming up. Bischoff does have a point. This music's pretty terrible.
Yeah. Mr. Wonderful wasn't the first WrestleMania
Paul
main event.
Orndorff was one of the most over wrestlers of the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was huge. And now he's wrestling Johnny B. Bad in the second match on WCW in 95 with a stupid-ass gimmick. one of the other real legit tough guys in wrestling. I mean,
He knocked out Vader.
It's pretty well documented that fight he had with Vader backstage. I think that was right around maybe before this time because Vader since went to the Fed. It was right around this time. And a lot of people say if Paul Orndorff wouldn't have been wearing flip-flops, he would have hurt Vader a lot worse than he actually did. I mean, Paul Orndorff was not to be trifled with. Mark Merowitz, Johnny B. Bad.
Basically Little Richard.
He's like if Little Richard and Randy Savage had a love child. At least in this iteration. If you go back and look at some of the earlier Johnny B. Bad pictures of him, he looks like a drag queen.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. The guy's wearing lipstick and eyeshadow and the whole deal. And I'm really wondering why this was a thing.
How would it hurt? That would really hurt. The
Kiss
confetti
cannon
bazooka.
or whatever that is. Just a blast of CO2 to your face. So was Johnny B. Bad ever really over? I mean, I guess he was. See right there, that picture is exactly what I'm talking about. I guess he was over at one time, but I just don't understand.
No, I don't know.
Because Johnny B. Bad is a WCW trademarked character. That's why when he goes to the Fed, they couldn't use Johnny B. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming it was Jim Herd or somebody, but
Yeah, imagine that going off point blank on the side of Paul Orndorff's head.
Orndorff would probably kill him. I don't know. Mero was a Golden Gloves boxer. Both these guys have a little bit of legit
He was in that whole
background.
Brawl for All angle there in the WWF in
Was he?
97. I think so.
Not sure about that. I'd have to look that up.
up.
I know, which we'll get into that later, how
Yeah.
Brawl for All. Wrong company. But somebody sat down and said, okay, here's an idea for you. We're going to have a wrestler who is as close to Little Richard as... Because nothing screams pro wrestling and tough guy like Little Richard.
Right, of course.
Not sure what that chant is. Who the hell's Paula?
Who knows?
That must have been something that happened prior to the Nitro era that was in the storyline, I guess. Orndorff starting out real aggressive here. Kick his ass, Orndorff. I'm ready for Orndorff to kick dirt on the referee. It looked like a baseball umpire.
Yeah.
Well, Mero is jacked, though.
Yeah, he is.
So,
Huh.
why would you throw a double axe handle to a downed opponent?
I don't think that spot was quite
Well,
thought through very well.
I'll tell you why. Because wrestling's dumb. That's why. So we cut to commercial in the middle of the match, and when we come back, both guys are on the ground. So we probably didn't miss too much.
Mongo, you suck.
Don't tell me what to do, Mongo. Oh, Orndorff whiffs on the top rope, big splash.
Some odd camera angles.
450 splash.
Nice DDP.
So we're going to see a botch here coming up. Orndorff stumbles over to this mirror, which is his gimmick, I guess. And
That's hilarious.
I mean,
That is hilarious.
I'm not sure they got some wires crossed. Johnny B. Bad throws a kick from the outside, which totally misses by like a foot. Mm-hmm. And Orndorff sells it like he's been shot.
Oh, it's great.
There he connects with the top rope double axe handle. Only 2 count. Orndorff going for his pile driver. That was his finish at the time.
Yeah.
It's reversed into a back body drop by Johnny B. Bad.
Clothesline. Clothesline.
Wow, look at that crowd. They could not care less about what's happening.
Got to give him his own finisher.
So Johnny B. Bad tries to go for the pile driver. Trying to sell the sunset flip. So,
Alright, cool.
Orndorff wins with a roll-up, which Johnny B. Bad's shoulders were not on the mat whatsoever. I mean, they try to save it by saying the ref was out of position, which I guess is a good way to cover for the ref. Orndorff wins to literally no reaction.
Booze. We have some booze.
Well, I mean, he's getting a little bit of heel heat, but the majority of the people don't give a shit.
No.
Which we really see right here is that Johnny B. Bad, Mark Marrow, is on his way out. He's on his way to the Fed as well, so they're jobbing him out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen.
I don't
parts
remember
of
this episode of Baywatch.
I didn't. I mean, I've just seen it on just random YouTube videos and stuff.
So cut to Randy Savage lifting weights on the beach. Close up on his teeth. And here
Kevin Sullivan
why?
in full gimmick with the lifeguard jacket on.
I guess he snuck in, even with the face paint.
Oh, the old sand in the face. Yeah.
Just
yeah.
sand in the eyes.
That would hurt.
Worked punches.
Is that Flair? And
Ric Flair to the
Tinkerbell?
rescue in full wrestling gear. I'm sure there was a ring set up somewhere just off camera.
Now, there was an actual episode of Baywatch where they're all in the gimmick, but I think Flair's like an evil landlord, and he's trying to buy up a piece of the beach to make a
That's
parking
a
lot.
real thing.
It's real, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Look it up. And Hulk Hogan's
So
involved as
let's
well.
just forget that vignette ever happened and never speak of it again.
This should be good.
Well, looks like we're getting a Savage promo. Oh my god. He looks like a candy cane.
Yeah.
I really think Johnny B. Bad made his ring gear out of leftover Randy Savage stuff. Do you think he can see out of those sunglasses? I don't think he can see a damn thing.
I don't know. This should be good, though.
I love the cowboy boots with fringe.
Oh, yeah.
Except for Mark Henry, because he's the world's strongest man.
Of course. Huh.
No, I want names right now.
What was he pointing at?
Savage starts losing his voice here. Years and years of yelling at the
Yeah.
top of your lungs will do that to you.
Look at that
Here
shirt.
comes Luger in his puffy shirt. Glad to see the puffy shirt and Guess jeans
Yeah,
make a
people
return.
are marking out for the puffy shirt.
And
Sink to himself.
it's Luger. Don't think too hard about it. It'll make your head hurt. So they're just gonna squabble over the War Games match, which we aren't reviewing it, but go back and watch it if you really wanna. If you got 3 hours to kill and have no life, which I'm assuming if you listen to this, chances are you got some time on your hands. So
Right.
nothing like insulting your audience to get notoriety.
Yeah, well, we're the ones making this, so. What's that say about us?
Yeah. Like talent? Oh, sorry.
You've lost me.
What? Scratch that.
Forget everything I just said. Oh, man.
I mean, not Savage's best work. He's stumbling around because he's wearing cowboy boots. He's not wearing wrestling boots. Oh, Savage paintbrushes Luger. Savage about twisted his ankle in those cowboy
Yeah.
boots, doing his usual stuff.
Main event time?
Oh, yeah, coming up.
Don't let Mongo talk.
Mongo is upset. Once again, we'd like to thank the good people at the Coors Brewing Company for providing the beverages tonight.
Okay.
So, this was on a show called Main Event.
Main Event.
This is prior to War Games. We have Hogan rolling up with his tiny motorcycle helmet on his Harley. And the housewives are going wild.
Oh, man.
And the mom jeans.
I'm sure they're paid quite a bit to be a part of this.
Mom jeans and turtlenecks.
What's Mean Gene going off?
Well, he missed his cue.
Oh,
And of course, what else could it be
a monster.
but a
truck.
monster truck that runs
good,
over Hogan's motorcycle?
Good camera work here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad acting by Hogan.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Really trying to work on the relationship they had with the what's the World Monster Truck? What is it called?
Yeah, it was on Monster Truck Madness.
Monster Truck
wasn't that the
Madness?
one Dusty Rhodes
That was
was
the video
on?
game.
Oh, what was the one on TNN that was?
Right, that's the one.
That's
that
what I'm thinking
they're
of.
like, cross promoting here.
The giant. Are you? The giant
man.
laughing maniacally. So here we get a War Games recap with the giant coming out during the main event or after the main event at War Games.
So this is his first appearance ever.
I believe so. This is his debut.
Is that
Look at his
Schiavone
agility.
talking?
We don't see this right now. Do you think he could do that now as the Big Show? Hell no.
No. I wonder if he was mentioned before because Schiavone seems to know who he is.
It's possible. I'm not exact. I wouldn't know when because he never made an appearance on last week's Nitro, which was right before this. So I'm
Maybe
assuming
he was mentioned on Saturday night.
it's possible, but I'm assuming this is his debut. What is all over Hogan?
Camo paint.
Oh.
If he did that for real, it would have killed
Yeah,
him.
I mean, they do this with the giant snapping, air quotes, snapping Hogan's neck. I'm sure Hogan had a movie to shoot or something, so they write him off TV for a while with an injury.
He could have still been doing Thunder in Paradise at this point.
Yeah, that's possible.
Blondes have more fun.
He's
is
still
the-
using the Hollywood
oh, so that's the
Blondes
Hollywood
music.
Blondes
Okay.
music, yeah.
I was trying to listen to his theme. It sounds like he's still using his old tag team with Steve Austin.
Stunning Steve Austin, as the kids would know him as. Stone
So
Cold
I believe
Steve
this
Austin.
is the main event for this show. Nature Boy Ric Flair versus Flying Brian Pillman. Pillman interfered with Flair's match against Arn Anderson and cost Flair the match, so that's the build up to this match here.
Yeah. Pillman, he could have been great had he not had his own
Really,
demons to deal
injuries,
with.
drug problems. It's really a shame. I mean, the guy's a pretty darn good worker. They exchange some slaps starting off. Flair starts off real aggressive. How would you describe Pillman's trunks?
Looks like a clown suit. Looks like he stole something from Doink the Clown.
I mean, kind of.
Kind of a rockers meets Crash and
We need to get the good people with OSW Review. Check out their website. They would probably describe that as a pack of peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, great. What bar is he?
Flair going up top. Will it pay off? I think he might actually hit this.
Nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
one of about maybe 10 times in his
rare.
whole career he's hit a
It's
top
rare.
rope move.
They got to rush this one through. I think there's only about 7
Yeah,
minutes
I don't
left
know
on the
how
show.
much time they got. Not very much. Flair's telling a good story here. He's pissed off from last night, so he's coming right at Pillman. He's wanting revenge for getting screwed out of a match.
I'm glad Flair's main eventing
That's where he belongs.
instead of Hogan.
Flair rope spot. Oh, he ducks the clothesline.
Nice.
How many times do you
Flair.
see that?
Never.
Flair mixing up the formula a little bit. Surely not. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I said surely he's not going to hit 2 in one match. That would be a first.
Yeah. Flair's
Good job, Randy Anderson, catching the feet on the ropes.
On Flair's podcast, he was asked by someone why he wears his knee pads on his calves. He says because he was self-conscious about his calves. He thought they were too
Really?
small. Yep, that's the only reason why.
I
He's
assumed
self-conscious
it
about
was
his calves.
it was shin protection for
Nope.
the which it doesn't really make sense with his figure 4 finisher.
Yep. Well,
Huh.
I get scared.
But I never knew that.
Yep.
Big chops from Pillman though. He's laying those in there.
1-900-909-9900. The
The old
hotline.
WCW hotline.
God, I wish I would have called that. I can only imagine what it was like.
Grandma is excited in the second row.
You know what? If any of you listening have ever called the WCW hotline, let us know how it was. Leave us a comment, send us a message.
Sunset flip from Pillman. Flair blocks it.
Eric Jerkoff. God, Flair's amazing.
Flair going up top for a third try. You think it'll work? Nah.
$11 time at this point.
Yep, he's still got a few more in him. Pillman going up top. He's got a whiff on the big splash. Oh, looks like Flair's going for the figure 4. Gets reversed into a roll up for a 2 count.
Has Flair ever won with a figure 4?
I mean, it's not a real high percentage finisher now, but occasionally he'll pull one off. These guys are chopping the hell out of each other.
Oh, yeah. Flair loves the chops.
He was going to go for the knee breaker there, but he went to a back suplex. Going to go for the figure 4 again. Looks like he's going to get it this time.
Is he going to reverse it?
Wow!
He wins with a figure 4. Wow.
A little foreshadowing there.
Yeah.
Flair goes over with a figure 4 leg lock.
Wow.
Something you don't see that often. I mean, you see the figure 4 all the time. You just don't see him win a match with
Well,
it.
that's what happens when you have someone in the ref's ear saying, "There's 2 minutes left in this show."
What? Look
What
at
the
Flair's...
hell?
Those from his chops.
Wow.
Look at Flair's
Some
chest.
bruising there.
Just welts all over it. Bruises from Pillman's chops. Youch. That looks awful.
Oh, yeah, we got a mic. Let's see what you have to say, Nate.
We get a second Flair promo of the evening. Gotta love that. He's a little out of breath.
Yeah, a little bit. He's a little winded.
Flair is not happy.
A way to go to commercial to end the...
Let's come back for 30 seconds
Yeah.
so we can read from our script. Glad to see Mongo doesn't have his dog back out here.
Right.
I don't know
No
how long
Pepe.
Pepe stays with the company, but...
So Mongo says, what are you going to do if the Hulk doesn't get up? Nick Bockwinkel?
Yeah, he's the commissioner. He's the kayfabe commissioner at this
Really?
time. Nick
Ah.
Bockwinkel is.
Huh.
Bischoff checking over his notes before they
Wait,
Totally-
is there something going on in the back?
totally get off air.
So
So they run down next week,
on a
and that's the end of the show.
cliffhanger.
What the fuck is that?
Who knows?
I think that was Ming wore some
Oh,
sort of
that's right. You're right.
headdress
Yeah, it
type
is Ming.
thing.
Okay.
So that's it for the September 18th, 1995 edition of WCW Monday Nitro. Final thoughts for this episode.
I think that's a pretty good one, maybe because Hogan wasn't there. I don't know.
that's probably the best one from a in-ring standpoint. I'd say that's the best one yet.
Yeah. I'm a huge Flair mark, so
Yeah,
I
and
love
me
anything that
too.
ends with Flair.
The more Flair, the better, usually. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case in
No,
the future
no.
because he's going to get
We're-
buried by creative.
As we've seen in the Harley monster truck promo, we're leading up to Halloween Havoc, which we'll get to that later. It's
Yeah.
one of the greatest, being sarcastic, pay-per-views.
Greatest
of all
slash
time.
worst for the wrong reasons.
The greatest
pay-per-views
worst
ever.
pay-per-view ever.
It's pretty special. You should check it out if you can find that anywhere.
Good thing is, I think the Dungeon of Doom is on their way out.
Yeah, so we've got less Dungeon of Doom to worry about.
It's got to get a little less gimmicky and more kind of the mid-90s attitude sort of style.
right.
Not to be confused with the
Yeah, I mean,
WWF attitude.
we had some good matches. The American Males Harlem Heat match was solid. We got a title change there. Mr. Wonderful Johnny B. Bad wasn't that great.
No, that was filler.
Both guys are on their way out. Johnny B. Bad's on his way out. He's on his way to the Fed, where he'll become Wild Man Mark Marrow and get jobbed out to his wife. So good for
Yeah.
him. The Flair Pillman match was solid, pretty textbook Flair match. But Flair, honestly, the highlight of this show to me was Flair's promo
Hell yeah.
in the middle of the show. So let us know what you think down below, and we'll be here next time. So let us know what you think, and we are out.
See ya.